This video is pretty different than other video projects I've done in the past. It feels definitely almost like a short film. In the video, the song is kind of popping up in the background, and so it sort of brings the story to life in a subtle way.
It was important for us that not only the song tell the story, but that the visuals tell the story really hand in hand. You know, they kind of work together in that way. And it wasn't about this song sort of telling this story over top of the video. It was about it sort of being woven in thematically to the character's life.
The monster, it's supposed to be a representation of, you know, trauma and addiction and just something from your past kind of like haunting you that you can't really let go of. When we were designing the monster, we wanted to connect the idea that she doesn't want to interact with this thing in her life. So she's always kind of like avoiding making eye contact with it because she's afraid if she engages that it'll kind of come back. So we came up with this idea of actually having, you know, antlers coming out of the eyes, almost like hands reaching out to kind of grab her.
We didn't want it to be too menacing or threatening to the character. You know, we wanted it to feel like this is something that she's had to live with for a long time and kind of make peace with the fact that it's always going to follow her around. Mm-hmm. And we thought that was particularly relatable to anyone with, you know, those sort of experiences of addiction or trauma or abuse.
We like the idea too that you don't really know what it's supposed to represent in the beginning, and even towards the end, like it can kind of mean something different to everyone.
I think my favorite moment in the video is the reveal of this group sitting around and everyone has their own monster standing behind them. And each of the monsters sort of represents something of that person's character that they're bringing around with them.
Every shot, it's very static. The camera's locked off, and then it's only once she's in that support group at the end does the camera actually have any movement. And it sort of pulls back away from her and opens up, you know, the same way that she would feel like maybe she can finally open up in this environment and start to relate to the people in the world around her, and she can see that, you know, she's kind of not alone.
Even though it's a bit sinister, the monsters to me are so beautiful, and there's such a rich story there, and it's so beautifully realized that, yeah, I hope people find some inspiration and maybe different ways that they can relate to the story.
Everyone has something following them around, you know, physically or not, and I think that, you know, the intention with this is for those people to not feel alone with it, you know, to recognize that everyone sort of has that in common and sort of feels seen by that.